Just down here.
Right there. What's up, man?
Congratulations on the victory. Just give us your immediate reaction to the fight and the entire experience of this entire thing.
Man, it's like I said before, it's a dream come true, man. It's a blessing just to be able to come out here and follow my dreams and chase my dreams. It's surreal, man. It's unreal. Like, I'm still trying to process it all, but I'm just excited, happy to be here, happy to be with the UFC, and happy to go out and put on an exciting fight for my first showing.
They talk about the UFC jitters, right? And the pressure of coming here and fighting on this sort of stage. Did you feel that? Did you feel the pressure? Or did you find sort of motivation in, like, oh, I'm finally here?
Yeah, man. I mean, I unlike a lot of people, or I'm sure I'm not just like me, but I do better under pressure. I do better when there's a lot of pressure on me. I don't know why that exactly is, but the fights where I don't feel pressure is usually the fights that I end up getting hurt or doing something stupid. But when I got a little bit of fear, when I feel the pressure on me, it's a whole nother side of me comes out, and it's a good side of me. So.
Nice. Talk us through the fight itself. How did you feel about your own personal performance in there, and what did you think you did well? What did you think you could work on? How did you feel it went?
Overall, I think it was pretty good. I stayed busy, just like the game plan was: stay on him, and try to impose my will. Cut him off. He was a very active fighter, likes to move back and counter. So I think I did well in staying on the attack and staying busy and being the aggressor. But at the same time, there were some spots where I felt like I kind of started sitting and waiting on him and kind of working off his timing. So I got to do a better job of listening to my coaches, keeping my feet moving, and make him fight my fight as opposed to fighting on his time. And then on the ground, I definitely need to work on my submissions, man. I mean, I can get to those positions, I can get myself in those good spots, but just in general, control, being able to hold somebody down and get those finishes. When I dropped him in the second round, I think that's when I kind of took his back. So just being able to capitalize on the submissions whenever they open up.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Did you compete in any sports before you did football? I understand you're a collegiate football player. We actually were supposed to have two more on this card, OSP and Alonzo Minifield. Of course, that fight was scrapped, so you had to carry the torch for football tonight.
Happy to do so, man. Yeah, I started playing football when I was 6 years old, and then ever since I was 6, I played year-round sports all the way till high school. Once I was a freshman in high school, I played football, lacrosse, and I even started wrestling at the age of 7. So I'm just used to being an athlete my whole life, man, from a very young age. Once I got into high school, I kind of focused on football. I wanted to shoot for the NFL, so I kind of let my focus go on that. And then my junior and senior year, I came back to wrestling. But yeah, man, track and field, like all any sport you can think of, I pretty much played it, except for hockey. I wish I got into hockey, but I didn't.
Yeah, or rugby. I came from rugby, and the transition to MMA was kind of humbling because the tackle doesn't translate like a takedown does.
That's right, yeah.
But with the wrestling background, I guess you're able to kind of go back and forth. You had that, or did you have to sort of relearn the technique for MMA? Because it is different.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still working on my wrestling game, man. It's not great, I'll tell you that. My wrestling, it's mostly instincts. I always wrestled for football. It was just something to keep me in shape and keep me busy for football, but it ended up benefiting me, obviously, when I got into mixed martial arts and martial arts in general, because I was just kind of used to that movement and that kind of grappling that you do in wrestling. And it's just a tough sport, man. Wrestling is like one of the toughest sport, if not the toughest sport out there.
I was going to say, which one is tougher? I think you just answered that. Football or wrestling?
Oh, wrestling for fun, man.
For sure.
Yeah, football is more like, you can be a little bit more of a pretty boy in football. That's why I play defense.
Well, I don't think we need to worry too much about your wrestling right now because you seem to handle yourself pretty well on the feet. And, hey, you still got time for rugby. I played until I was 35. So.
Oh, man, yeah, that's another sport I want to get into, man. I love rugby.
Tell us about that, your nickname. You have a bold tattoo on your shoulder.
Yeah, so my last name's Semelsberger, and it's a mouthful for pretty much anybody who doesn't know me and knows how to say it. So a long time ago, when I was young playing football, one of my coaches got sick and tired of calling me Semelsberger all the time. So he just was like, Semi, or call you Semi. And it just kind of stuck. And actually, my whole family gets called Semi. My brothers, my cousins, my uncles, everybody in my family is known as Semi. it kind of started out as that, and then as life kind of went on, there's just more and more layers to the meaning. I didn't even realize, but my mother's maiden name is Myhill, Mihill, and it's then Semelsberger is my dad, so Sam My. I didn't even realize that until down the road, and then when I was in football, Sean Taylor was one of my favorite players ever, and I always tried to emulate him and just lay people out. So they were like, "Dude, you're like a semi truck, like freaking running people over." So like that was like another part of it. And then I got like a really nerdy side. I loved like Dungeons and Dragons and like playing like those nerdy games with my friends. So I added the Jedi to the end of it because it's just kind of like encompasses my little nerdy side. So it's like semi the Jedi.
Nice. Now this has been a long journey. You dropped out of college about 5 years ago. Is that correct?
Yeah, I had about like 10 credits or something like that. It was like a couple classes and like an internship to go.
So how is it 5 years ago you drop out for this dream and now you're here?
I mean, it's just a self-fulfilled prophecy, man. Like I want to say it's destiny, but at the same time, like if you have a dream, like you got to work for it. You got to put in the work, and you got to take the steps to get there. So it really is. Life is just a self-fulfilled prophecy. So I decided right then and there that I wanted to do this and that I was going to pour all my heart and soul into it. And I knew that I would. It was something deep down. You know, a lot of people say that they want something, and maybe they do, but then, you know, when the going gets tough, they give up or they stop. I just kept going, man. But you know, that wasn't just me. That was a huge support system that I have in my friends and my family and my team. I probably wouldn't have made it without them, man. There were so many times where I got down on myself and I was in some dark places, but they helped me get out. So
5 years is a long time. How did you get through those times when you were like, yeah, is this worth it?
I just kept grinding, man. Like I said, support system, people telling me, yo, Semi, don't give up, man, don't give up. And obviously, like this, you know, the successes helped too. When I was going out and I was getting wins, and I was able to visibly see myself progress, whether it was, you know, a win and doing well in a fight, or just even like leaving a session after a night, getting a bunch of taps, or getting a lot of compliments from my coach saying like, hey man, really like what you're doing, you're really improving. You just kind of have to ride those, man. You got to take every little bit of positivity, and you got to kind of add that to your stack. And then at the same time, man, you do have to use that negativity as well. People who say you can't, or even like your negative thoughts and stuff like that. You know, you do need both the positive and the negative, in my opinion. So I was able to kind of balance out the drawing inspiration and motivation from both of those. I think that's what really helped me.
How are you going to celebrate?
I got my big brother and my brother-in-law here in Vegas. They came out and they were just waiting for me to get done, and I'm going to go out and hang with them. Also, one of my best friends, Pete, from college that I played college football with. He was an offensive lineman. One of my best friends from college. He's down here too, so I'm going to go hang out with them, hang out with my coaches, hang out with Steve, my manager from Wild Bunch Management. Shout out to Tom Vaughn too. So I'm just going to hang with them, man, and just enjoy the night and take everything in.
Congrats.
Thank you, man.
Congrats, man. Jim Grieshaber, Cage Side Seat. I actually covered Sean Taylor at the U. It's another lifetime ago, but he was just reckless and fearless. So it's a good thing you're winning in the UFC now, so you don't just have to tell old football stories like Al Bundy for the rest of your life. Now you have UFC stories to go with them.
Exactly, man. That's what's up.
So you're a safety?
Yeah, so I played free safety in high school, and then I transitioned to strong safety in college.
So free safety wasn't violent enough for you?
Actually, I liked free safety more because I got more of a running start to run people over. But once I got, because Marist was a 1AA school, very good athletes out there, so I kind of fit in more of that linebacker safety hybrid position. That's basically what the position I played was. We played with a 3-3 stack, so we had three safeties: a free safety, a weak side safety, and a strong side. I played the strong side, so I was either blitzing some plays or I was dropping back, so I had to be a little bit bigger. I was like 220 in college. So.
Wow, and Sean Taylor's style is obviously something that was attractive to you, a violent type of player, fast all over the field, but the way his life ended, what did you take from that? I mean, you know that life is short. Did that help you in terms of that mindset of just chasing your dream no matter what because you know life is short? Or
Yeah, man, for sure. Like that's one of the biggest things that drives me to do what I do, man. It's like you only get to live once. You don't know when you're gonna go. You don't know when you're gonna die. So you might as well just be chasing something great, man, and chasing something that you love to do. And summer going into my junior year of college, I lost one of my best friends that I've ever known to a car crash. I was working with him the whole day before, and we were talking and having heart to hearts. And the next day he was gone. A lot of things like that have happened, and obviously Sean Taylor, one of my favorite players, that happening to him. It's just one of those things, man. As scary as death is, you just have to use it to motivate yourself, man.
Enjoy life and get as much contact as possible while you're here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Enjoy it, man. Congrats.
Thank you.